is balance and lines a little bit of a struggle sometimes. Let me guide you through it and we'll do it together. So I have this pot. It's one of my favorite little compote. These here right now, we can make them really big. We can also make them on a little bit of a smaller scale, but very important that you don't start up with too big of a pot. I'm going to put chicken wire in, made a little ball. And even though it's fairly tight, I just like to put a little tape on, especially with this shape of ball. And I prefer the clear tape. The thing with the clear tape is you put it on and you have to go around on the outside or it will not be strong enough. Where the green one, you don't have to. The green tape is stronger, but I don't like that I have to design around where I have that little tap going down, especially in these smaller arrangements. So this is my flower. I have a hellebores. Thought I might use orchids and the craspedia. No, whatever. I can't remember what it's called. That's the other one. Maybe I'll use some thistle, a couple of dianthus, maybe some grasses. We'll play with it. Put these here in first. They give my height. See, when I measure here on outside my pot, I can see how high it'll be before I put it in. And if it's not right, I have to pull it out. And with these knots, it could be hard to pull it out. So measure on the outside, and then you know roughly how high it is. Doesn't mean it's right every time, but it does help you. That's the thing with the chicken wire. It does move around at the beginning, especially when we do something that's a little more precise here. It can give you a little bit of a headache. That's okay. So I only have one stem of these. They come up there. We'll do this one over here. So this is a little stiff looking, this stem. Just bend it a little bit. Have a couple of heads here too. And I'll put a couple of these here in. These are good for the bottom. I love these. Dianthus. They cover nicely. There. See, let's wait with that. Then I have my orchid stem. I think I will take off this one. And then I will have to water pick these. I could probably put this one in. Nah, let me water pick it. There. So that covers that really nicely. And then I have a little grouping here. I have my hellebores on this side. We don't have to keep them all together, but here they actually look really nice. I might put the orchid a little more in the back here. I'll show you after. So I cover up my back too. And then I have a couple of these roses here that I thought could be nice to put in over here. So let me wait with this one. Move this over a little bit since I have the roses in now. There. This head here kind of cover up the other heads. I might have to take that off. I don't like to. But if we turn it a little bit. And then I have these Galax leaves. They're beautiful leaves. I used to use tons of these here years ago. And I haven't used them for a long, long time. And now we saw them again. So let me try to put a couple in here. They're really good for these. When you don't use hydrangea and you want to cover up a little bit of chicken wire, or if you do use foam, it doesn't matter if it's chicken wire or foam. Sometimes you need a little leaf, and they're really cool for that. Yeah. Put a couple on the back. Have this sitting here. It's so nice to see the back because the back has that nice plummy color like the rest that we're trying to match. Little groupings. Let me see if I need to put these in over here. Sometimes it's a good idea to thin these here a little bit. They can be too heavy when they have too many heads up top. So I just took one of those off. I can use it down low. I think I like it coming up on that side. So it goes in with the line of these that I forgot what they're called. So let's just see if we can create a little bit more of its own line. Put it further to the back. The balance work, it's a little heavy on the bottom. It works totally fine for a centerpiece, but if I just want to show you about balance, I would say you look how you lift up the arrangement by just putting that stem in up here. All of a sudden it goes up, right? So we don't want to mix up the lines too much. We will a little bit. Put one more. These grasses always adds a lot of interest too. Yes, it definitely brings it up. I hope you could see that enough up against the white. It does look pretty to have that coming up. I will add one more here, down here, I think. Take these here off. Look at this one. It has a little new one coming up. That's fun. That way we just bring the blue into this line coming out on this side here. Put this one in over here. So when I step back here, the balance is good. This orchid is a little heavy on this side. When I stand here and look at it, it's okay because I can see the orchid that's in the back here too. But when you look at it straight, like you do, it is a little heavy on this side. You know, sometimes you do these designs and you do things because I hate to cut that head off because I like how it's coming out. But I think I might have to do that to really make it perfect. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it. I don't want to pull it up because everything will come apart. Question is, which one do I take? The top or the bottom? I should take this one. As much as it kills me to do that, and I think you can see now that it is just a little less heavy because it became a little too heavy. I could do something different to, let's say I had the 3 here. I could put something heavier in than the grasses. But I decided not to do that because I like how it is. This arrangement is a little bit dainty. It's not too heavy. But if I had, let's even say, if I used these grasses here instead of, but to see how much more weight that has compared to those. So those are the things you have to think about. How heavy do you balance up? This one here also balance up the orchid, but the orchids are heavy, so I need something really strong to balance that up here. The roses balance this here nicely, and also I have these here coming out. So those are the things you have to think about. Does the weight down here, because sometimes we make arrangements that's just way too heavy at the bottom. Also, if you want to learn this here a little bit, try to play with this here and not just doing centerpieces, because centerpieces has to be a lot of times a little bit lower or different different things you have to think about. They have to be nice all the way around. When you do just for balance, try to just do it where it faces you, and then think about what can I do different. Pull things out, try different things, and then you get the balance right. But it is all about looking at it and really look at. I always say if you sort of skim your eyes a little bit and you just see the silhouette, sometimes that makes it easier for you to see where does it look unbalanced. And then it's also a good idea to group your things a little bit because that makes it more lined and a little more interesting. One more thing I just want to mention too is the colors that we use. So this pot, I think I used it a couple of times in my videos. I just love this pot. It's a beautiful pot. So it comes in white and then this really dusty pink. So I like how this is dusty pink with the flowers I used because here I have the white pot. But if I'd used the white pot, it's okay, but there's nothing that there's white up here. But with the pink, it all becomes one. So very important to think about to incorporate your container into the flowers, if we can. And and so of course here the plum on the back of this hellebores so mats all the plums that's in here. So it is a little bit these muted tones. And the blues and the plums and the lavender, it's more purple. That they go really nice together. And the green sort of brighten up the color a little bit, just these couple of dianthus that's in here. And also the green here that is almost like a lime green that's in the middle of the stem. That it ties it all together. And when it's all done, we think about it so much, but it's very important that you think about that before you start the arrangements, of course. And if you plan for parties and events, weddings, you of course have to think a lot about the colors, and that can sometimes be a little tricky. But that also comes from doing it a lot, and you get used to it, and you know what works really well together. And trust me, there's times where I still get that wrong a little bit, especially when we go into uh, very specific colors, and a rose just might come in a little bit in a different tone the day you need it. So it can be tricky at times. But if we stick to more the basic ones, like this here, these here usually comes these colors all the time, then we don't go too wrong. And whenever you have it in your hands, try to make different color combinations and put them in your hand and take photos of it. Then you always have that for future reference. And because we look at all those websites, Pinterest and Instagram, there's a lot of flowers that are made somewhere else that we don't necessarily can get all the time, depending on where you are in the world. So good to have something that you know works and that is available to you. So that's a good trick when you have different cool color combinations. Take photos of them and then have it for future reference. Another trick. So I hope that helped you a little bit more on balance and how to get lines and how to do these things. And I have lots of online courses. Some are in the works and some are already up. So check it out. There's lots to learn. We all need to learn. And I keep learning. And I hope you learn with me too. That's my goal. My goal is to inspire you and anybody that's interested. That's what this is all about. And let's have some fun at the same time.